Welcome, seekers of wonder and wisdom. You've entered the gateway to myth, mastery, and the supernatural. This is Spirit Man Universe Presents Supernatural Storytelling, a realm where celestial forces collide and legends rise from the ashes of forgotten truths. Created by visionary author Gerald, these stories are more than fiction. They are keys to unlocking your divine potential. Prepare to journey through portals of power, meet guardians of Earth's authority, and witness the rise of Spirit Man himself. And don't forget to visit GeraldDukesBooks.com to explore Gerald's newest release, Spirit Man vs. the Three Celestial Beings. Book Series 1 arriving Monday, November 3, 2025. Mark the date. The awakening begins. Now. Let the storytelling begin. Spirit Man Universe Presents. Episode 9. Even tells her supernatural storytelling written by Gerald. I am Even, sovereign vessel of eternal powers, guardian of Earth's authority. Today, I tell my story. Before the rise of Spirit Man, before the celestial spiral awakened, there was silence. A silence that stretched across galaxies, waiting for a voice to speak truth into the void. I was chosen not for my strength, but for my surrender. To carry the weight of Earth's forgotten authority, to channel the eternal flame that binds realms together. I have faced the celestial beings. I have stood between chaos and creation, and I have whispered life into dying stars. But this story is not just mine. It is yours. For every soul who has felt unseen, unheard, unworthy, know this. The sovereign flame lives in you. This is my story. Before the spiral awakened, before Spirit Man rose to confront the celestial beings, I stood alone in the silence between worlds, chosen not for my strength, but for my surrender. I was the flame in the void, the voice in the storm, the guardian of Earth's forgotten authority. When the heavens fractured, I held the line. I faced the tribunal of time. I stood before the mirror of souls, and I bore the weight of the eternal flame, not to conquer, but to restore. I speak now to every soul who has felt unseen, unheard, unworthy. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are flame. You are vessel. You are legacy. I hope you all enjoy our episodes. Stay tuned for more exciting adventures. Thanks for your support.
Spirit Man Universe presents Episode Spirit Man Universe presents Episode 9 Even Supernatural Adventures. The air in the Sovereign Tower's Grand Council chamber hummed with a palpable energy, a blend of advanced technology and ancient power. Even the sovereign vessel of eternal power sat at the head of a holographic table, her presence commanding the attention of representatives from every corner of the globe. Today's agenda was not about trade routes or economic forecasts, but about the delicate balance of supernatural forces that govern their world. The incursions from the Shadow Realm have increased by 37% in the last lunar cycle, reported a stern-faced woman representing the European consortium, her avatar flickering slightly. Our containment fields are straining. A lean man from the Eastern Alliance nodded gravely. Our geomantic wards are showing significant degradation. The ley lines are becoming unstable. Even listened, her gaze sweeping across the shimmering projections of her attendees. Her eyes, the color of a twilight sky, held a wisdom that transcended her apparent youth. She was the nexus, the conduit through which the universe's fundamental energies flowed, and the responsibility weighed on her like a physical burden. The celestial alignment is a contributing factor, Even stated, her voice calm yet resonant, cutting through the anxious murmurs. The veil between dimensions thins naturally during such periods. We must reinforce our defenses, not just with technology, but with focused intent. A representative from the Pan-African Federation, a woman with intricate tribal markings on her avatar, spoke up. But Vessel, our shamans have felt a growing discord. It is more than just celestial mechanics. Something ancient is stirring. Even closed her eyes for a brief moment, feeling the subtle shifts in the cosmic currents. The woman was right. There was a deeper disquiet, a rumbling beneath the surface of reality that spoke of something far older and more potent than mere dimensional bleed. I am aware, Even replied softly. We will implement the proposed energy dampeners and increase patrol rotations. However, I believe a more direct approach may be necessary. I will be undertaking a personal excursion to investigate the epicenter of the increased activity. A ripple of concern went through the holographic assembly. Vessel. That is highly irregular, the European representative protested. Your safety is paramount. My safety is assured, Even said, a faint smile touching her lips. And the fate of our world depends on understanding this new threat. We will reconvene in 3 days for an update. Until then, maintain vigilance. The meeting dissolved, the avatars fading one by one until Even was alone in the vast chamber. The silence that followed was profound, broken only by the soft whirring of the tower's internal systems. She stood, feeling the weight of her power settle around her like a cloak. The responsibilities of being the sovereign vessel were immense. Even closed her eyes, allowing her consciousness to expand, to touch the very fabric of reality that she was bound to protect. She could feel the ebb and flow of energies, the whispers of distant stars, the silent pulse of the planet beneath her. It was a constant, overwhelming symphony. As she stood in this state of deep communion, a new sound intruded, a soft, almost imperceptible hum, growing steadily louder. A sleek, obsidian, AI drone, no larger than a hawk, glided silently into the chamber. It moved with an unnatural grace, its optical sensors glowing a cool, analytical blue. The drone hovered directly above Even, its movements precise and deliberate. A beam of pure white light, impossibly bright, yet not blinding, emanated from its core, enveloping her. It felt like being submerged in pure energy, a sensation both alien and strangely familiar. The light intensified, and the world around her began to warp, to dissolve. The Grand Council chamber, the sovereign tower, the very air she breathed, all of it fractured, then vanished. Even felt a disorienting tug, a sense of being unraveled and rewoven. Then, nothing. Darkness. A moment later, or perhaps an eternity, Even's senses slowly returned. She felt soft, yielding ground beneath her, the scent of wild herbs and damp earth filling her nostrils. The air was crisp and clean, carrying the distant sound of running water. Hesitantly, she opened her eyes. She was no longer in the sterile grandeur of the sovereign tower. She stood in a sun-dappled meadow, surrounded by ancient moss-covered trees. The sky above was a vibrant, impossible blue, unlike any she had ever seen. And before her, magnificent and breathtaking, stood a stallion. Its coat was the purest white, shimmering like moonlight on snow. Its mane and tail flowed like spun silver, and its eyes, large and intelligent, glowed with an inner light. It exuded an aura of immense power and ancient wisdom, a creature of myth made flesh. Even, despite her vast experience with the supernatural, felt a tremor of awe. She instinctively knew this was no ordinary animal. The stallion lowered its noble head, its gaze fixed on her. Then, in a voice that resonated not just in her ears, but deep within her very soul, it spoke. "You are chosen, Even." The words hung in the air, imbued with a significance that sent a shiver down her spine. Chosen for what? She was already the sovereign vessel, chosen by the universe itself to safeguard its delicate balance. What further destiny could await her? She looked at the stallion, searching its luminous eyes for answers. Chosen for what? She managed to ask, her voice a little breathless. I am already the sovereign vessel. The stallion dipped its head in acknowledgement. The title is but a reflection of the potential. The true power, the true purpose is yet to be fully awakened. The disturbances you have sensed are merely ripples from a tidal wave yet to come. Evan's mind raced. The AI drone, the sudden displacement, the meadow, this creature. This was not a random event. The drone, she realized aloud. It brought me here. It was not an attack. It was a transition, the stallion confirmed. A necessary step. The sovereign tower, for all its might, is bound by certain limitations. To face what is coming, you must shed those limitations, at least for a time. You must connect with the primal source of the power you wield. The primal source? Even questioned. A spark of understanding igniting within her. You mean the very essence of creation? Precisely, the stallion said. You have been a conduit, even. Now, you must become the wellspring. The Shadow Realm's incursions are a symptom, not the disease. The disease is a corruption at the heart of existence itself. A slow decay that threatens to unravel all that is. Even felt a surge of conflicting emotions. Apprehension at the scale of the threat, but also a strange sense of exhilaration. This was what she had always sensed beneath the surface. The deeper mystery she yearned to understand. And you are here to guide me? She asked, her voice gaining strength. I am a guardian of the ancient pathways, the stallion replied. And the pathways have led me to you. The power you possess is a gift, but it requires understanding and mastery. This place, this realm, is where that understanding can be forged. He took a step closer, his presence radiating a warmth that chased away any lingering fear. The forces you will encounter are beyond the comprehension of mortal minds and even beyond the current scope of your vessel. You will need to access the raw, untamed energies that shaped the universe. This meadow, this world, is a nexus of such energies. Even looked around her, truly seeing it now. The vibrant colors, the ancient trees humming with unseen life, the very air thrumming with power. It was raw, wild, and beautiful. What do I need to do? She asked, her resolve hardening. First, the stallion said, you must shed the burdens of your title, the weight of expectation. Here, you are simply even. You must learn to listen to the whispers of the cosmos without the filter of protocol. You must feel the pulse of existence, not just manage its flow. He nudged her gently with his head. Come, your journey begins now. There are trials to face, truths to uncover, and a power within you waiting to be unleashed. The universe has chosen you even not just to protect it, but to understand it. And in understanding you will find the strength to save it. Even took a deep breath, the scent of the meadow filling her lungs. She looked back in the direction she had come, a faint echo of the sovereign tower in her mind. Then she turned to face the majestic white stallion, her eyes now filled with a new kind of determination. The path ahead was unknown, perilous, and undeniably hers. She was ready. The celestial realm shimmered with The celestial realm shimmered with a pristine, crystalline beauty. Snowflakes, each a perfect geometric marvel, drifted lazily from a sky the color of a robin's egg. Peaks of ice, sharp and majestic, pierced the heavens, their surfaces reflecting the ethereal light that permeated this otherworldly domain. Within this silent, frozen expanse, whispers, carried on the frigid wind, began to coalesce into a prophecy, ancient and potent. "A child of light shall rise," the whispers murmured, their voices like the tinkling of icicles. "She will rule both earth and the celestial realms. She will be guardian. She will be sovereign." In the heart of the frosted kingdom, a realm sculpted from millennia of frost and starlight, Queen Ice, her form as regal and unyielding as the glaciers she commanded, heard the prophecy. Her eyes, the color of a winter storm, narrowed, focusing on a distant point. Her gaze, sharp and discerning, settled upon Even, a young girl whose very presence seemed to radiate a soft internal glow. Even, unaware of the cosmic significance that now clung to her, like the frost on a winter bough, was playing near the edge of the kingdom, her laughter a bright, fragile sound against the immensity of the snow-laden landscape. Queen Ice descended from her throne, her movements fluid and silent, like a cascade of snow. She glided across the frozen floor of her palace, her royal robes, woven from moonlight and frost, trailing behind her. The guards, tall and imposing figures clad in armor of polished ice, bowed their heads as she passed, their faces impassive masks of frozen loyalty. Queen Ice approached Even, her expression unreadable. The young girl, startled by the queen's sudden appearance, looked up, her eyes wide with a mixture of curiosity and a touch of apprehension. Even's glow, which had been a gentle emanation, seemed to intensify under the queen's direct scrutiny, as if in response to the powerful presence before her. Even, Queen Ice's voice was like the creak of ancient ice, deep and resonant. "You possess a power that has long been dormant in this realm. The prophecy speaks of you." Even blinked, her brow furrowed in confusion. "Prophecy? Me?" Queen Ice nodded, her gaze unwavering. "The child of light, the one destined to bridge the worlds, to protect them both." She extended a hand, her fingers long and slender, tipped with nails like shards of sapphire. "You are more than you know, child. You are the key." Even looked at the queen's outstretched hand, then back at her own small glowing palms. A strange sense of destiny, a feeling both daunting and exhilarating, began to stir within her. She had always felt different, a warmth within her that the cold of the celestial realm could not extinguish. Now, it seemed, that difference had a name, a purpose. "What must I do?" Even asked, her voice barely a whisper, yet carrying the weight of a newfound resolve. Queen Ice smiled, a rare glacial expression that held a hint of ancient wisdom. "You must learn. You must grow. You must embrace the light within you. And I," she paused, her eyes glinting, "will guide you." And so, Even's training began. Under Queen Ice's tutelage, she delved into the secrets of the celestial realm, learning to harness the raw energy that flowed through the icy mountains and the starlit skies. She learned to command the frost, to shape the snow, to understand the language of the wind. Her innate light, once a gentle glow, began to manifest in more potent ways. She could conjure shields of pure energy, mend fractured ice with a touch, and even communicate with the ancient spirits of the realm. But the celestial realm was not without its shadows. A creeping darkness, born from the forgotten corners of the cosmos, began to stir. Whispers of a malevolent force, a being known as the Shadow Weaver, reached even the frosted kingdom. The Shadow Weaver fed on fear and despair, seeking to plunge both Earth and the celestial realms into eternal night. Queen Ice, though powerful, knew that Even's light was the only true weapon against such darkness. She pushed even harder, her lessons becoming more intense, more demanding. Even fueled by her growing understanding of her purpose and a fierce protectiveness for her home, pushed herself beyond her limits. She practiced day and night, her glow intensifying with each trial, her abilities expanding with every challenge. One day, a chilling scream echoed through the mountains. A scouting party from the Frosted Kingdom had been ambushed. The Shadow Weaver's minions, creatures of living shadow and ice, had attacked, their numbers overwhelming. Queen Ice and her guards fought bravely, but the darkness was relentless, their icy strength faltering against the encroaching gloom. Even, sensing the danger, rushed to the scene. Her heart pounded in her chest, but her mind was clear. She saw the desperation in the eyes of the guards, the encroaching tendrils of shadow threatening to engulf them. This was her moment. This was what the prophecy had spoken of. "No more," Even cried out, her voice ringing with newfound authority. She raised her hands, and the light within her erupted, a blinding nova of pure energy. The shadows recoiled, hissing and spitting, as the light washed over them. Even channeled the power of the celestial realm, drawing strength from the very snow beneath her feet, the very air she breathed. She conjured a vortex of pure light, a swirling maelstrom that tore through the Shadow Weaver's minions, dissipating them into nothingness. The darkness that had threatened to consume them all was pushed back. The icy landscape once again bathed in the pure, ethereal glow of the celestial realm. Queen Ice watched, her eyes filled with a mixture of pride and awe. Even still glowing, stood as a beacon of hope, her small form radiating an immense power. The prophecy was unfolding, not as a distant foretelling, but as a present reality. The Shadow Weaver, though repelled, was not defeated. Its whispers of despair still lingered, a promise of future conflict. But now, the celestial realm had its guardian. Even, the child of light, had risen. Her journey was far from over, but she had faced her first true test and emerged victorious. Her light shining brighter than ever before. The path ahead was fraught with peril, but Even was ready. She was the guardian, and soon she would be the sovereign. King Lion places his hand. King Lion places his hand on Even's shoulder. "You are not just my student. You are my legacy." Even stands radiant and focused, training under the watchful eye of King Lion, whose celestial armor and glowing staff mark him as a mentor of mythic power. The sanctuary itself is carved into a golden mountain, surrounded by waterfalls of light and ancient glyphs that hum with latent energy. Even, your control over the elemental forces is growing. Today, we refine your precision. King Lion's voice resonates, a deep, melodic rumble. Observe. King Lion raises his staff. A single drop of water, suspended in mid-air, appears before him. With a flick of his wrist, the drop splits into a dozen smaller droplets, each tracing a perfect, intricate pattern in the air before reforming into the original drop. Even watches, her eyes wide with concentration. She mimics the gesture, focusing her inner energy. A faint shimmer surrounds her hands. She wills a nearby stream of light water to obey. It hesitates, then breaks apart. But the droplets scatter wildly, their paths chaotic. You are close, even. The intention is there, but the focus wavers. Your spirit is strong, but it must be tempered with absolute discipline. King Lion's gaze is stern yet encouraging. Imagine each droplet as a thought, a decision. If your mind is scattered, so too will be your power. Even closes her eyes, taking a deep, steadying breath. She visualizes the perfect, ordered dance of the droplets. She feels the flow of energy within her, seeking to channel it with unwavering intent. She opens her eyes and extends her hand. This time, the light water obeys, splitting into a controlled cascade, each stream flowing in a graceful arc before rejoining. Excellent. King Lion nods, a hint of a smile touching his lips. The true test of a spirit warrior is not in raw power, but in the mastery of it. Now we move to the next stage. The shadow realm beckons. A swirling portal of amethyst light tears open in the sanctuary's center. Strange, guttural whispers emanate from within. The shadow realm is a place of illusions, of fear. It feeds on doubt. To conquer it, you must first conquer yourself. King Lion's voice takes on a graver tone. Your greatest enemy will not be the creatures that dwell there, but the shadows within your own heart. Even's brow furrows slightly, but her resolve is evident. I am ready. She steps through the portal, the light of the sanctuary vanishing behind her. The shadow realm is a suffocating expanse of perpetual twilight, where jagged obsidian structures pierce a sky the color of bruised plums. The air is thick with an unnerving silence, broken only by the skittering of unseen things. Even feels an immediate pressure, a creeping dread that attempts to latch onto her spirit. She can sense King Lion's presence, a faint beacon of warmth even in this desolate place. Remember your training, Even. King Lion's voice echoes in her mind, a comforting presence. Face what you see. Do not run. A creature emerges from the gloom. It resembles a twisted wolf, its eyes burning with malevolent red light. It growls, a sound that scrapes against Even's very soul. Even instinctively summons a shield of light. The creature lunges, its claws tearing at the barrier. The shield holds, but Even feels a tremor of fear. This is not real, Even. It is a manifestation of your own anxieties. Do not grant it power. Even forces herself to look past the monstrous form. She sees, beneath the illusion, a faint, shimmering outline of a creature in pain, its form contorted by suffering. She lowers her shield slightly, his gaze softening. She extends a hand, not in aggression, but in an attempt to understand. The creature recoils, its growls intensifying. You are strong, little warrior. A voice, ancient and weary, whispers from the shadows. But strength can be a cage. Even senses multiple presences now, whispers of doubt and despair swirling around her. She sees fleeting images, her past failures, her deepest fears. The wolf-like creature grows larger, more menacing. She remembers King Lion's words, discipline. She closes her eyes, focusing on the warmth of her own spirit, the light of her purpose. She visualizes herself as a beacon, unyielding and pure. When she opens her eyes, her aura is brighter, pushing back the encroaching darkness. The wolf-like creature falters, its form flickering. The whispers intensify, trying to sow discord. You are not worthy. You will fail. You are alone. Even stands firm. I am not alone. I have my mentor. I have my purpose. She unleashes a wave of pure, radiant energy. It washes over the shadowy landscape, not as an attack, but as a cleansing force. The illusions shatter like fragile glass. The wolf-like creature dissolves into wisps of smoke, its malevolent light extinguished. Even takes a deep, cleansing breath. The oppressive atmosphere of the shadow realm begins to recede, replaced by a faint, ethereal glow. She sees now that the jagged structures were merely twisted reflections of her own inner turmoil. She has done it. She has faced the shadows within and emerged victorious. A sense of profound peace settles over her. She feels a connection to King Lion, a shared triumph. You have shown great courage, even. King Lion's voice is filled with pride. You have faced your inner demons and emerged stronger. The shadow realm is a reflection of the soul. By cleansing it, you have purified yourself. Even returns to the sanctuary, the amethyst portal closing behind her. The golden mountain seems to glow brighter, the waterfalls of light cascading with renewed vigor. King Lion stands waiting, his celestial armor shimmering. He looks at Even with an expression of deep satisfaction. You have proven yourself, my student. My legacy. The path ahead is long, but you are ready to walk it. The Spirit Man universe is in good hands. Even bows her head, a sense of profound gratitude washing over her. She understands now. The training, the trials, the seemingly insurmountable challenges, they were all designed to forge her into the protector she was meant to be. She is no longer just Even, the student. She is Even, the spirit warrior, ready to face whatever darkness may come. The light within her burns brighter than ever. And so, the Spirit Man universe. Saga continues, and Even takes her stand with the future legends of the Spirit Man universe.